Discovery tells you what's out there, but discovery alone is a snapshot. The next question is, how do you govern these agents on an ongoing basis, and how do you detect when something goes wrong? Governance first. Once you know what agents exist and what credentials they hold, you can start putting specific policies around them. Which agents are allowed to use which identities, which environments they can access, what tools they're permitted to use, and the lineage chain we talked about earlier is what makes this possible. If you can see the full chain, person to agent to tool to identity to resource, you can write a policy against any link in it. This agent, authorized by this person, can use this API key by this tool in this environment. Anything outside of that, violation. Just having that policy layer gives you immediate wins. An agent using a credential it's not mapped to, flagged. An agent shows up that nobody approved, you see it. Basic policy enforcement applied to a category of identity consumer that most organizations have zero policy around today. Now, governance sets the boundaries. Detection is about what happens inside them. This is where behavioral baselining comes in. And the key is where you look. You don't monitor the agent's reasoning or try to infer intent. We covered in episode 13 why that doesn't work. Instead, you look at what the agent actually does in the destination systems. The API calls, the resources accessed, the data read and written, volume, timing, patterns, and so on. And honestly, this part isn't new. It's the same detection principle that you'd apply to any identity in your environment. You're looking for signals of malicious activity in the end system themselves and tying those signals back to the entity that caused them. The only difference is the entity is an agent instead of a human or a service account. Nothing fancy here. It's the same playbook, just a new category of actor. And here's why that matters so much. Remember the prompt injection scenario from episode 10? And the least privileged discussion in episode 12? A prompt injected agent operating within its authorized scope, using its legitimate credentials, doing things that are technically within its permissions but behaviorally anomalous, that behavioral signal at the destination system might be the only indicator you get. No credential theft, no authentication failure, no traditional security alert. Just an agent doing something it's never done before. When you get that signal, you need to respond fast. Revoke the agent's credentials, trace the lineage chain backwards to understand blast radius, and contain. Discovery gives you the map, governance gives you the rules, detection gives you the signal, response gives you the containment. That's the operational stack, and all of it is buildable today.